If this was chess, we'd be yelling checkmate 3 years ago, because we've been beat these. They only here to cause confusion. We here to bring money and to bring change. They here to cause confusion. All these weak rappers, Nas, all these suckers, they battling off of East and West like this is a game. This ain't no game.
Till this day, people still talk about Tupac's beef with Biggie, without knowing that he had beef with a lot of other people. I'm sure you guys had no idea that Tupac had beef with people like Quayle, the 44th Vice President of the United States during the Bush administration in the 90s. And he was not a big fan of rap music, to say the least, because on September 23rd, 1992, Quayle took the controversial step of ordering Interscope Records to pull Tupacalypse Now from stores because of the album's alleged role in the death of a Texas state trooper. Because according to Quayle, the suspect responsible for the trooper's death was listening to Tupac's album at the time of the incident, which obviously was the driving motivator behind the suggestion.
The night of the shooting, Howard was listening to gangsta rapper Tupac Shakur's Tupacalypse album, which contains a dozen songs that describe the killing of cops.
Donald idolized these guys. These guys were his heroes. And they were telling him, hey, look, you've come from a bad background. You've had these white cops messing with you all these years. You know, these guys are telling him, his heroes, Ronald, fight back.
Prosecutor Bobby Bell didn't fight the unique defense argument. In fact, he embraced it.
Bang boom, it's a stick up. Vice President Quayle, eat a dick up.
Going to the studio to make Bob Dole mad. I'm finna go make Bob, I'm finna make you real mad right now. You with Delores Tucker. I'm finna make a hit for y'all right now called We Love Snoop.
It is safe to say that the politician Cynthia Delores Tucker had the same attitude as Quayle towards rap music, but 10 times worse. Cynthia was disliked strongly by the rap community and the rap industry because of her advocacy for the full prohibition of quote-unquote gangster rap. She wanted to ban it completely, and it was clear as day that she didn't like Tupac's music and rap music in general.
And that includes all this gangster rap and misogynist lyrics. Music that glorifies and promotes violence with guns, knives, or drugs, and denigrates and defames women. And with the release of Snoop Dogg's debut album, Doggy Style,
Tupac couldn't help but to speak about the matter and just diss her in his songs.
It's Delores Tucker, right? You keep stressing me, really fucking with a motherfucker mind. Delores Tucker, you's a motherfucker. Instead of trying to help a nigga, you destroy your brother.
Following the release of Tupac's disses, Cynthia initiated legal action against him, alleging that he made her look like a traitor even though she thinks that she's not. She further mentioned that given Tupac's status as one of the most respected rappers, especially among his 5 million fans, that they would interpret his lyrics as factual rather than opinion. Additionally, she argued that Tupac's lyrics could encourage some of the fans to uninstall her life, if you know what I'm saying, but ultimately the court concluded that the reference to Cynthia was an expression of opinion regarding her intentions to hinder rather than support her fellow African Americans. But that was nothing compared to the beef that Tupac had with Jimmy Henchman. Now, Jimmy is a widely recognized figure not only in the music industry but also for his involvement in criminal activities. At this very moment, he's serving a life sentence for his leadership role in the large-scale drug trade. And if we take a look at the events that happened in '94 after Tupac was shot, Biggie informed him that he had no involvement in the incident whatsoever, and he had warned Tupac to be cautious about his associates. Then Tupac swiftly began to suspect that the entire episode was a scheme orchestrated by Henchman. Many years passed and Henchman stood his ground by saying that he did not play a role in it, but in 2012, Jimmy finally admitted that he played a part in robbing Tupac. Biggie turned out to be right when telling Tupac that he shouldn't hang out with Jimmy Henchman and Haitian Jacques, which is another guy that Pac had problems with. Buckle up everyone, it's about to get deep. Although Tupac was warned by Biggie and Mike Tyson about the true character of Haitian Jacques and Jimmy Henchman, Tupac just persisted in spending time with them. It was during one of these occasions that Jacques introduced Tupac to a woman who later accused him of rape. Haitian Jacques was also implicated in the crime but was given a separate trial and he was eventually cleared. An outcome that was clearly unjust and just unfair to Tupac. And at this point, it was just clear to Tupac that he was being deliberately targeted.
Trust nobody. Trust nobody after Dogg. You know what I mean? Straight up. My closest friends did me in. My closest friends, my homies, people who I done took care of their whole family. I done took care of everything for them, looked out for them, put them in the game, everything turned on me. Fear is stronger than love. Remember that.
But did you guys know that Snoop Dogg actually had some unfinished problems with Tupac right before he died? You see, Snoop Dogg initially held the spotlight at Death Row Records until Tupac arrived on the scene. Tupac quickly became like a little bro to Suge Knight, and Suge himself claimed that Snoop Dogg started to become envious as a result of this.
Pac is another half of me, which is a little brother. So anything I could do to help him, it was great for both of us, not because of his talent as an artist. You got a lot of people that like Pac because he can rap. I like Pac because of Pac, because of who he was. Some artists knew him, but like Pac and Snoop at the end hated each other. And you could tell that by the simple fact that when Snoop did Dogg Father, Pac was not on that one song.
So there was this one time where Tupac, Snoop, and the rest of the Death Row Records crew were in New York for the 1996 MTV Music Video Awards. However, Snoop failed to show up for rehearsals and recordings with Tupac on Saturday Night Live. This is what fueled the East-West feud. And it made matters worse when Snoop Dogg went on a local radio station to express his admiration for Biggie and Puffy. This is what caused Tupac and Suge Knight to become furious, because this was right after Snoop and Tupac finished working on songs where they dissed Biggie and Puffy.
I heard it. I remember he called us in the studio and was like, "Pop, listen, I got at him. Listen to the lyrics." You know what I mean? We heard it. Everybody it was known back then.
Following this incident, Snoop claimed to be fearing for his life, just as he was on the uncomfortable flight back home to LA. Tupac was fatally shot before he even got the opportunity to squash the beef with Snoop.
Vengeful, revolutionary, and oh yeah, don't get it fucked up, gangster. We'd all like to officially welcome Tupac Shakur into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.